Masama bang lumaban para sa kalayaan? Masama bang ipagtanggol ang bayan laban sa pang-aabuso at pang-aapi? Masama bang magsalita para sa mga takot mga tuwiran? Kasalanan bang ilantad ang mga katiwalian na nangyari sa ating bansa? Krimen bang maituturing ang pagpapakabayani sa sariling bansa?
Listo! Karga! Apuntar!
Pinili ng tao ang mamatay upang tubusin ng animoy patay na bayan.
Rizal, kaibigan, magandang umaga sa iyo. Alam mo ba na napagdesisyonan ni Andres Bonifacio na magtatag ng katipunan dahil para sa kanya
Dahil ang mga mamamayang Pilipino ang kawawa. Sa kadahilan ng wala tayong sapat na gamit na pangdigma at madaming buhay ang mawawala sa kanyang desisyon. Madaming buhay ang mawawala sa kanyang desisyon at hindi ako susuporta.
balak namin na ikaw ay ipuslit palabas dito sa dapitan upang mabigyan ka ng kalayaan.
Ako ay nagkasala at ako ay isang tao na may isang salita. Hindi ko sisirain ang aking pangako sa mga Kastila. Hindi ako papayag.
Sigurado ka na ba sa iyong desisyon, Doktor?
Oo, ako ay may paninindigan at ayaw ko na madaming buhay ang masasayang. Father, maaari ko bang hingi ng iyong basbas dahil gusto kong kasal kami ni Josephine Braque sa lalong madaling panahon.
Ikakasal ko kayo, ngunit sa isang kondisyon. Babawiin mo muna lahat ng mga sinabi mo laban sa simbahang katoliko.
Hindi na ito tama. Kailangan na nating magsagawa ng revolusyon. Maghingi tayo ng Mabuhay ang Pilipinas! Mabuhay! Mabuhay ang Katipunan!
Ako ay lubos na nababahala sa ating bansa at sa aking mahal na mamamayan. Kapatid, ako ay bumalik dito sa Pilipinas upang bumuo ng grupo na nagngangalang La Liga Pilipina. Pagkaisahin ang buong bansa, malabanan ang karahasan, at mabigyang hustisya at mapag-aralan ang reforma ng ating bansa.
Sige, anak, yung video, i-zoom sila din. Dili dito, butangan dito na music. Ako yun. Sina, tato.
Narinig ako ng mga tao na bumubuo ng grupo ng mga ilustrado.
Punyeta! Pag-aalsa ba ito laban sa mga Espanya? Hindi ito maaari! Huli!
Ang taong nasasakdal ay nandito sa salang rebelyon, sadisyon, at pagbabalak na masama sa bansang Espanya. Ano ang pangalan ng masasakdal?
Ako si Jose Protasio Rizal Mercado y Alonso Rialonda,
Edad,
35 anyos.
trabaho.
Doktor at manunulat.
Ngayon ay maaari na ibigay ng prosekusyon ang kanyang panig. Tinatawagan ko sa hukumang ito si Attorney Alcocer upang tumayo sa harapan at ibigay ang kanyang panig.
Gracias. Hindi nasusukat ang kadakilaan ng isang tao sa yaman o sa dami na nakilala niyang tao. Ito ay nasusukat sa katatagan ng loob at katapangan na ngayon nasa kapakanan ni Dr. Rizal. Bago niyo siya husgahan, tingnan niyo muna ang inyong mga sarili. Ang nais lamang niya na maging pantay ang trato ng mga Kastila sa mga Pilipino. Hindi kayo dapat magpadalos-dalos sa pagbigay ng parusa na hindi nararapat sa nasasakdal.
Gracias, Attorney Alcocer. Ngayon naman ay ating pakinggan ng depensa. Aking tinatawagan sa hukumang ito si Teniente Teverde Andrade upang depensahan ang kanyang panig. Ngayon naman ay pakinggan natin ang panig ng nasasakdal sa hukumang ito.
Hindi na ito dapat hatulan pa. Dapat hatulan si Rizal sa salang nagawa niya.
Tama, sangayon ako dyan. Ako din.
Magkakaroon ng isang masusing deliberasyon kung ano ang hakbang ating mahuhukom ukol sa kaso ni Dr. Jose Rizal. Maaari nang ibalik ang masasakdal sa kanyang selda. Ipapaalam ng hukom kung ano ang magiging resulta ng deliberasyon. Pakibigay ito kay Gobernador General.
Opo, masusunod. Magandang araw, Gobernador General. Ito na po ang hatol ng korte kay Dr. Jose Rizal.
Magaling. Tama lang na patayin ang taong iyon. Yan ay nababagay sa...
Ngayon ay babasahin ko sa inyo ang naging hatol ng korte. Ang nasasakdal, si Dr. Jose Rizal, ay hinahatulan ng kamatayan. Ito ay pinirmahan ni Gobernador General. Ipapatupad ito sa ika-30 ng Disyembre, 1939 sa ganap na alas 6:30 ng umaga.
Patawad, ginawa na namin ang lahat. Ngunit ang desisyon ng hukuman ay hindi umaayon sa katotohanan.
Kung kailangang mangyari ito, kung kailangang magbuwis ako ng buhay, alang-alang sa inang bayan, gagawin ko ito ng buong tapang at dangal.
Hanga mo ako, Rizal. Wala akong kilalang tao na kayang ibuhis ang kanyang buhay para sa kanyang inang bayan. Tawad, Rizal. Ako ay nalulungkot na hindi kita naipagtanggol sa kanila.
Huwag kang mag-alala, Teniente. Lubos mo akong pinapahanga sa iyong katapangan. Tunay na dugong Pilipino ang dumadaloy sa iyong katawan.
Andito ang iyong ina at kapatid.
Anak ko,
Ina, bakit kayo nandito?
anong gagawin nila sa'yo?
Huwag kang mag-alala, Ina. Para ito sa ating bansa. Sana mapatawad mo ako sa aking mga kasalanan.
Tama na yan! Tama na yan! Bawal magtagal dito!
Trinidad, kapatid, meron akong ibibigay sa iyo. Buksan mo ito pagkatapos ng aking kamatayan. There's something on it.
Makakaasa ka, kapatid. Tama na yan! Umalis na kayo dito!
Diyan ako nag-aaral ng 7 taon. Mahilingin sana ako.
Ano yun?
Pwede nyo ba akong barilin na nakaharap sa inyo?
Hindi maaari.
Dr. Rizal's trial, exile, and death was shaped by his own experience during the Spanish colonial period in the Philippines. He faced two trials, one after his return to the Philippines in 1892 and the other before his execution in 1896. During his trial in 1892, Rizal was found out guilty of sedition and conspiracy against the Spanish government and was sentenced to exile the Pitan. During his exile, he wrote his two novels, Loli Me Tangere and El Filibusterismo, which became symbols of Philippine national identity and resistance against Spanish colonial rule. Rizal, exile, and trial were part of a larger trend of political imprisonment, exile, and execution of Filipino nationalists during the Spanish colonial period. He was one of many Filipino nationalists subjected to trial, exile, and death in the name of defending the rights of their people. This legacy of trial, exile, and death is still relevant today. In the 21st century, Filipino activists are still being subject to political persecution. The Philippines is one of the most dangerous countries for journalists, with numerous cases of journalists being subject to threats, harassment, and even death. In addition, the Philippine government has been criticized for its use of trial and imprisonment against.
The relevance past and present of our topic is exile, trial, execution in Rizal. Jose Rizal and later found him guilty of rebellion, sedition, and conspiracy. He was executed by the Spanish colonial government for the crime and rebellion after the Philippine Revolution broke out. Many Filipinos who were arrested for possible rebellion were deported to Spanish penal colonies. Jose Rizal was arrested by the Spanish authorities on 4 grounds, and the injustice and misrule of the Spanish authorities during the trial of Rizal was evident. And Jose Rizal is binaril siya ng Espanyol sa likod, pero humarap si Rizal kaya nabalay siya sa puso. After as much evidence as possible, the preliminary investigation on Rizal began.
Exile, trial, and death of Rizal shows that even if we have a high status in life, it is not enough to fight what we want to be. Even if we know the truth, there's still people who have courage to pull us down. Rizal gave us a reason to fight what is right. Rizal made us realize that even if we experience misery, there are people still want to accept us. It may be love or building a friendship to someone. We all know that Rizal became a physician, teacher, and agriculturist in the P-time. Lastly, exile, trial, and death of Rizal made me realize that no matter what happened, helping people is one of the best things to do even without something in return.
For my insights, the past and the present and the future of Rizal's exile, trial, and execution. The past is different compared to today because in the past, we Filipinos starting losing confidence in their passing heritage, became the fall of the present lifestyle and eventually lost hope in the future and the preservation of the race. The Spanish colonizers, one of the most powerful forces that influenced a culture of silence among the natives, were the Spanish Ferrars, Because of the use of force, the Filipinos learned to submit themselves to the will of the foreigners. Because of Rizal's pen and paper to fight the independence of our nation, until now, Filipinos still remember and share till this day.
So, si Rizal remains to be the foremost young Filipino citizen, the consummate hero, the paramount model for all Filipinos. Unfortunately, these characteristics are the same reasons why Filipino youth of so many generations have found it difficult, impossible even to emulate deeds by no less than the national hero. To this younger generation is no exemption. In addition to the monumental task of learning and living by the life and works of Rizal, they contend with the older generations.
My insights on our filmmaking about the life and death of Rizal, all I can say that he is truly humane because at the end of our drama, he sacrificed himself for the Filipinos, and it and I can feel that he truly loves us. I can feel his concern for us, and that is the true doings of a true hero.
Relevance for our topic, exile, trial, and death. Rizal is been loving our country, like he defending our country to the Spaniards. Like in these present days, government adapt the beliefs of the Spaniards. Also, government also hold like you work in a government, you must have a backup people so you can work in that certain area. The beliefs that Spaniard taught us, wa- taught us is been adapted in this present days. During Rizal's exile, he's been defending our country even if he died, and make a book or novel. So novel novel. Also, in this present area, which even there's a discrimination in poor poor people.
So, my insights about the life and the work of Rizal after the film that we make or that we create is that the first thing that I realized is that Rizal did a lot of sacrifices, did a lot of things for the sake of our country, for his love to our country and to all the Filipinos. And also, I understand how. Uh, how he became the national hero of the Philippines. And dun ko nakita na way back, Rizal did a lot of things. Not only for himself or not only for his own sake, but also iniisip din niya ang kapakanan ng mga mamamayang Pilipino. And imagine it, we are under the colonization of Spain, and I think hindi lang Spain ang naka-under sa atin before, but here Rizal, no, nandyan si Rizal that time na um, secretly fighting, though not secretly, but parang in a way of parang ginagamit niya yung utak niya, very intelligent siya in a way of fighting for our country, no. So he create a lot of works, then also in connection sa mga nangyayari sa Philippines, which is we all know na it is very inhumane as a Filipino citizen na gagawin niya yon, and it's not easy. sacrificing yourself for the sake of the whole country, for the sake of a lot of people, no, Filipino people specifically. So yes, and also it includes the love life of Rizal, no, love stories of Rizal, and I observe or nakita ko doon na some of his love life no were affected also sa mga ginagawa niya for our country, and it's so sad to know na nangyayari talaga yan noon. And also his family affected din sa mga nangyayari before kasi nga there are lots of people who is after for Rizal. Maraming nag-aano sa kanya, especially nung nalaman na ng nagko-colonize sa atin or nag-ano sa atin, nagsakop sa atin before, na Rizal is having a plan or is fighting secretly but in intelligent way for the sake of our country.
In the film, Rizal's life was related to and connected to what we have discussed. In the Pitan, Rizal leads a balanced life. During his first several weeks in town, Rizal resided at the home of the town's military commandant. He returned to the country to build the La Liga Filipina enable for us Filipinos to achieve freedom from Ilustrados. He wants our formation so that he created a revolution. This film depicted Rizal's patriotism and nationalism despite the fact that he was unable to enjoy his life to the fullest. I believe that the film's goal was to answer the questions what was Rizal thinking when his request to leave the Pitan was approved? Is there anything to be thankful for? Or is it something to be frightened of? And I'm curious whether he knows what would happen if he leaves the Pitan after 4 years as an exile there. Rizal sa Dapitan 1997 was a wake-up message for Filipinos, particularly the youth, to be patriots and to show our nationalism not only in our country's worst battles, but also in our daily lives.
Para sa akin, ang video na aming ginawa bilang isang grupo ay ito ay tinuturing bilang isang refleksyon ng buhay ng Pilipinas dati. So, alam naman natin, simula nung tayo pa nasa elementarya, namulat tayo na si Rizal talaga ang ating pambansang bayani. So, dun sa video na aming ginawa, makikita natin kung ano yung pagkakaugnay ng history noon. Ang history noon naman talaga, ang pagkakaugnay na nangyayari noon sa ngayon. So, makikita natin kung ano yung resulta ng pagkamatay ni Rizal. So, ano nga ba yung mga epekto ng pagkamatay ni Rizal? Para sa akin, siguro una yung naging inspirasyon siya ng mga tao at mga kabataan. So, sinabi dun ni Rizal na ang kabataan ng pag-asa ng bayan. Siguro namulat yung mga kabataan na dapat nilang ipaglaban talaga yung bansa natin. Para kasi deserve naman talaga natin na sa atin tong Pilipinas. So, pangalawa yung pagkakaroon ng iisang diwang makabayan. So, dahil doon sa pagkamatay ni Rizal, namulat yung mga tao na magkaisa tayo para sa ating bansa. Pangatlo is pagdideklara ng kalayaan. So, dahil doon, magkaisa tayo para sa ating bansa. Pangatlo is pagdideklara ng kalayaan. So, dahil doon, sa pagkamatay ni Rizal, although nung hindi pa naman namatay si Rizal, meron na talagang mga tao, kagaya nila Andres Bonifacio, na gustong magdeklara ng kalayaan. Kasi, siguro nung panahon na yon, namulat sila kung paano tinatrato ng mga Kastila yung mga Pilipino. Parang kinakawawa tayo sa sarili nating bansa, gano'n. So, nagkaroon sila na kailangan natin ng revolusyon para sa ating bansa upang hindi na tayo kailangang maging alipin ng mga Kastila. Siguro yung panghuli yung pagkakaroon ng tiwala sa sarili ng mga Pilipino. So, makikita natin yung epekto
ng pagkamatay ni Rizal na yung mga Pilipino, nagkaroon sila ng tiwala sa kanilang sarili na kaya nilang ipaglaban yung karapatan nila para sa bansa. So isa lang yung masasabi ko, na ang pagkamatay ng ating bayani ay isang pahayag ng katapangan, hindi takot. Pagmamahal sa bayan, hindi kahihiyan. Pagmamalaki ng dangal, hindi sedusyon. So si Rizal ay ating bayani na dapat nating ipagmalaki. Dahil kung hindi dahil sa kanya, patuloy pa rin tayong sinasakop ng mga Kastila.
What I love of this video is the trial of Rizal because this is the most famous history in the Philippines. Not because he is our national hero, but also what is the reason he died. He didn't die because he is protecting himself or his family. He died because he protects all the Filipinos. This trial of Rizal is really a mistrial. It was a big joke from the very start, and it was completely trash. If I would describe it, that I want to poke. But as I said, he died because he protects us. The cruelty enrages me so much that I can compare those Spanish authorities at the time to wild animals possessed by evil. They were way too much, and hate is not enough to describe it in words how I feel about them. Those Spaniards really get to my nerves because if they didn't kill Rizal, I think he will go in to free our country with their hands. He will still write many poems that in this day it will inspire us.
Rizal is expected to be a hero that is able to lead the people and be a role model for the youth of today. He is expected to be a symbol of justice and peace in a time of darkness. He is expected to be a strong leader who will stand up for what is right and be a voice of the people. Rizal is seen as a hero in many countries around the world and is still remembered fondly by many. However, in today's world, it is difficult for one person to be a leader and a symbol of hope for everyone. Rizal is remembered for his bravery, courage, and dedication to his country, but it is up to each individual to be a hero in their own way. The reality is that Rizal cannot single-handedly lead the people, but he can serve as an inspiration to those who are looking for a role model. The role of Rizal life is always strive for excellence and justice, to be advocate for the oppressed and to lead by example. He showed us that by being a leader with courage, intelligence, and determination, one could achieve great things. He also showed us that with education and hard work, one can make a difference in society. Finally, he taught us that no matter how difficult the task, we must never surrender in the face of adversity. The moral lesson alive today, but the expectation of him being a leader are not quite as strong in reality. He is still a symbol of hope and courage for many, but his impact is not as widespread as it was in the past. The current era is largely focused on social media, and the idea of a single leader or symbol of hope is not as prominent or powerful as it was in Rizal's time. Despite this, Rizal legacy still lives on his name, is still inspiring Filipinos to stand up for their rights and fight for a better future. Rizal's legacy is still alive today, but the expectation of him being a leader are not quite as strong in reality.
My insights about this scenario is that Rizal sacrifices his own life to achieve the freedom that Filipinos deserve to have, even risking his own life in the process. He may not succeed, but somehow his efforts are seen and recognized among us, and inspired us to great lengths. In Spanish era, the status of treatment of Filipinos are cruel. Anyone who defies the Spaniards receive a death sentence. So, as a Filipino in that period, it takes a great responsibility to conform. It helps us to become aware of our past and how brave our heroes just to have that freedom that we longed for so many years. Dr. Rizal is known for being a writer, so he uses his intellect to write novels about the treatment of Spaniards to the Filipinos and how they forbid the Filipinos of any rights. As we all know, Rizal grew up in an average family and he uses this opportunity to study abroad to make use of his intellect to create plans and build a company of people that is willing to fight for their freedom. In the video, we can see that Spaniards are not pleased with Rizal's actions of betrayal. They were angry at him, they wanted him dead, and to retract his words that he writes in his novels. In his novels, he clearly stated the bad deeds of Spaniards and how unjustly they are to Filipinos. In Spanish era, Filipinos are used as slaves and maids by the Spaniards and also mocked by them. We can see in the video that Rizal's actions of betrayal has put him in grave danger even though he just wanted what's best for his people. Whether we like it or not, in the past, our actions were limited, and anyone who defies the Spaniards will cost them dearly. Filipinos are forced to follow and submit to them, so it was very difficult to attain and obtain our rights as a human being and a Filipino citizen.
Ang tunay na pagbibigay ay iyong nasagit. Isa sa mga katagang palaging sumasagi sa aking isipan. Habang ginugunit ako ang mga magagandang karanasan nung ako'y bata pa. Ako si Jose Rizal, isang manunulat, ophthalmologo, inhinyero, linguista, pilosopo, at higit sa lahat isang makatao, makabayan, at makadiyos. Sa aking mga kaaway, tingin nila ako ay filibustero, subversibo, erehe, at kung ano-ano pang pwedeng maging tawag sa isang taong buhay pa ay nasusunog na ang kaluluwa sa impyerno. Ngayon, ako ay nahaharap sa kamatayan. Subalit, bago ako mamaalam, hayaan niyo munang isalaysay ko ang aking mga pinagdaanan. Ipinanganak ako sa Kalamba at bininyagan ako sa simbahang Katoliko kasabay ng habiling ako'y alagaan sapagkat ako ay magiging magiting na mamamayan. Simula nang ako ay mapaaway ng pagtawanan ni Pedro Cruz. Dahil sa kalupitan ng aking profesor ay pinagsumikapan kong abutin at higitan ang mga ekspektasyon ng aking mga guro. Hanggang sa ako ay makarating sa Santo Tomas at Ateneo upang makapag-aral ng medisina. Maliban pa yan sa mga parangal na aking natanggap sa iba't ibang patimpalak na aking sinalihan. Nang ako ay makapagtapos, napagdesisyonan ni Kuya na ipadala ako sa Europa upang makapag-aral ng medisina. Sa mga sinabi ni Kuya, napagtanto kong magiging mahalaga ang aking pagpunta sa Europa. Marahil, mabibigyan ko ng daan upang magbukas ang matagal na nating pagkaalipin. Ako'y nakaabot sa Europa at ako'y namangha sa aking mga nasak. Ginusto kong pagbigyan tayong mga Pilipino ng mga Kastila ng pantay na karapatan at kalayaan sa pamamahayag katulad ng mga Kastila. Iniisip kong pagbibigyan nila tayong mga Pilipino kung maipapakita nating mga Pilipino na tayo ay mararangal na tao. Kung tayo ay magkakaisa at kung ang benepisyo sa kanila ay tratuhin tayo ng tama, di baling masayang ang ating mga laway kung ang kapalit naman nito ay mawawakasan ang paghihirap ng ating mga kababayan. Nakumbinsi ko sila at kami ay nagtayo ng organisasyong kumakalaban sa maling gawain ng mga namamahala sa Pilipinas. Ngunit ako ay hindi nagtagal sa kadahilanang ang pulong patnugot ay baang interes sa aking nalikain. Nilimbag ko ang aking mga aklat at sa galit ng mga pare, ako ay pinadakot nung ako ay umuwi sa Pilipinas. Pinatapon ako sa kapitan at namuhay ang mag-isa. Hanggang sa dumating si Joseph. siya ang nagbigay sa akin ng lakas ng bagong pag-asa. Matagal rin akong namuhay noon hanggat sa hikayatin ako ng Tia Valenzuela na sumali sa hitikman. Ako ay hindi pumayag. Ngunit huli na pala ang lahat. Ang revolusyon ay umiklab na. Sa kadahilanang ginamit ni Bonifacio ang aking pangalan. Paraan upang hatulan ng kamatayan. Nagsimula ang kunwaring panlilitis sa akin. Ngunit alam kong bago pa man ito ay mayroon ng nakahandang hatol. Tinutulungan ako ni Gobernador General Blanco na siyang tumulong sa paglinis ng aking pangalan. Subalit, ang mga praile ay ginawa ang lahat para lang hindi umusad ang kaso laban sa akin. Sa pagiging sakim ng mga praile, ako ay nilitas ng mabilisan at walang hustisya. Father, maaari po ba akong hingi ng iyong basbas upang kami ay ikasal ni Josephine Bracken? Father, pwede ba ay... 1, 2, 3.
Focus mo eh.
1, 2, 3, go.
Madaming mawawala ang buhay sa kanyang suporta. Ano daw?
1, 2, 3, go.
Tama na yan! Balik-balik!
Go.
Hindi na ayaw na
Game.
Sabi sa maman.
1, 2, 3, go.
Sa kadahilan ng wala tayong sapat na gamit na pangdigma, visit kayo eh.
Mayroon akong narinig ng mga tao na bumubuo ng mga grupo ng Ilostra.
Dali na. 1, 2, 3, go! Hindi na ito tama. Kailangan na natin magsagawa ng revolusyon. Maghingi tayo ng 2, 3, go. Dahil para sa kanya, hindi sapat ang mapayapang pag-aalsa.
Hindi ako sang-ayon sa kanyang desisyon. Maratong sa ganito ko diyan. Sakay na tapos.
Naku, magbuta-buta, oy.
Dahil ang mga mamamayang Pilipino ang kawawa.
Sa kadaliha,
Sa to?
sa kadalihan